Hello YouTube, so today we're taking a look at Land's exclusive 3. I finally got him to exclusive 3 and it's time to test him out in both PvE and PvP to see what he is capable of doing. Now with the exclusive 2 he was pretty strong already, getting the cover tracks debuff from the get-go, which means that he will start out being stealthed and immune to CC. So for PvP he was a fantastic addition to any team, right? With exclusive 3 here, what he gains is he gets more violent thunderstorm layers here with lightning spears, layers up to 10 instead of 6 layers, which means that he can do 4 additional attacks, auto attack during the pursuit and attack, and also he is removing buffs now with his lightning spears pursue and attack ability on the one that has done the highest damage so far. So on any boss you will just keep removing all non-attribute buffs all the times, and that is great for 7th Sense, Julia and Planner Rift bosses and stuff like that. Also his bleed damage on the pursue and attack lightning spear goes from 100% to 220%, so he becomes very strong, and he also applies 1 electric shock, and the electric shock debuff is actually reducing turn meter on people as well, so you kind of counter attack them with pursue and attack, do a lot of damage, remove some non-attribute buffs, and you reduce that turn meter. It's a fantastic ability for Lance. Alright guys, so since exclusive 2 I've done some breakthrough on him. He's breakthrough 4 now. I've also gained, giving him some like his echo is leveled up, and he has some aura now that I'm working on, and I got blessings on him, and now he is in his ultimate form. You can see here 63k attack, and it can still be even better. His gear is like this. It's mostly mythic gear, so can't do much there, but we can get passive stats from other stuff. Also his echo here still needs 5 more levels. His aura here, I'm going to take it to 20, level 20, which means he'll get another 4% attack and stuff like that. So let's go in let's just start with PvE first. Let's see what he can do now. So we're gonna go and test him in Wuthering Coast here. It's for my bleed team. Let's see what he does in a bleed setup here. So for this team I've chosen this here with Big Jack, Morikis, Grace, Brister, and this one here. So Brister will give his passive attack buff to Lance. He will also make him pursue an attack with Brister's basic attack, and Big Jack will use all his spotlights on my Lance, because my Big Jack is only exclusive 1, so he doesn't have a cooldown on spotlight. However, obviously I've set the speed buff to be the prio, so we also get speed buff and turn meter for the rest of the team. I wish my Grace was exclusive 3, then she would increase the attribute buff duration, which means like speed buff, attack buff and all that, which would give us an even larger margin of damage. So let's just see the test result here. Let's see how it goes. And with exclusive 3 in Wuthering Coast, you can now see that Lance is actually out damaging Morikis. Now I saw some comments in Discord, in the main court, that Morikis was a support hero, just like Grace. I would just like to say Morikis is not a support hero. She is a damage dealer, and you can clearly see it on this example here. You can also see Grace is doing absolutely no damage compared to Morikis. Morikis is not a support, she is a damage dealer. The only support she's doing is giving attack buff to the other attack based bleed heroes like Lance, Nidrold, Valentina. That is like the only thing I think, and obviously she gives the bleed buff as well, right? But other than that, she does great damage on her own. So here you can see almost 4,000 million. Let's just click a few times here, see if we can break that 4,000 million. Yes, here we got it. So 4,100 here. You can clearly see that Lance is now escaping Morikis by quite a huge margin, and she's even exclusive now. Sorry, breakthrough 5 here, but Lance is out damaging her a lot. And just to be clear here, this is my Morikis gear: 59k attack, 214 affected, 142 mastery, with half a devour set. My Lance is also in a half devour set, and he has these stats here: 63k attack, and 80% affected and 145 mastery. So you can clearly see that the stats are pretty equal actually. Lance has more attack and Morikis has more affected obviously, and that is pretty much that. This like the only exception, the mastery is pretty much the same, and yeah. So from the damage numbers you can clearly see that Lance is doing pretty great. Now let's see if he can do. Actually today is the boss here in 7 Sages for bleed, so I think we should just run my team here and see how it performs with Lance exclusive 3, because now we will have a consistent removal of the buff that Sun Wukong is doing. Before I could only get it if I did his skill 2, his sweeping thunder I think it's called, which wasn't always timed with the buff of Sun Wukong. So even with exclusive 2 I actually still sometimes got extra turn on the boss, but at this time here now with the lightning spear just removing the buff, we should have 100% uptime on removing the buff, and Sun Wukong should not get any additional extra turns. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously I don't have the wolf pet as well. The wolf pet will help you if you have that pet. You can also use that if you don't have exclusive 3 Lance, then you can use the wolf pet on this boss. But I'm not really I haven't like gotten any pets yet. I'm still on the free-to-play basic pets, so that is how it is at the moment. Now I am on difficulty 5 of Sun Wukong boss here, you can clearly see that, and we are halfway there already, so we're almost done with the fight here, and you can clearly see here that I'm doing some decent damage here, and actually it looks pretty good here. Now for my team, I would actually like to replace the Narc because he's exclusive 0 first of all, and he doesn't really give anything to the team here other than the defense buff. I would love to have Valentina instead. Unfortunately my Valentina is also exclusive 0, which means she doesn't really do that much, but we'll try to put her in just a minute and see if it's better. Maybe we can kill the boss here. Let's see, we got 4 turns left to kill the boss. 16%. We might actually make a new record here and clear the difficulty 5 now. I couldn't do that last week, but this time with exclusive 3 Lance maybe it's possible. Let's just see here guys. This is just as exciting for you as it is for me, and the boss is actually dead. We actually killed difficulty 5 today with exclusive 3 Lance. Now you can clearly see on the screenshot here that Lance is doing great damage, absolutely obliterating the enemy. And Morikis is also following up pretty good. You have to remember Morikis on a boss, she gets like 200% mastery and a shit ton of attack, so she also gets a lot of buffs for herself. But just to finish off what I was saying before, I would love to get Valentina in instead of Narc. Valentina has a buff that she also puts on the bosses where you take even more bleed damage, up to 30% I believe, but I don't have her exclusive 1 yet, where she also gives the 40% attack buff. So that is also something that this composition here is missing, is the attack buff from the from anyone. So Morikis and Lance can actually get 40% extra attack as well if I had the Valentina exclusive 1. I do not have that yet. I need to wait, I think it's 2 resets of Elemental City, then I have the enough for it, because I just finished my Dharma exclusive 5, and Valentina is the next one in line for some of the exclusive upgrade materials for Elemental City for my team. So that is fantastic guys. You can clearly see here that Lance is fantastic in PvE. I'm going to pause this here, and I will return when we get to the end game end screen here with the result. Alright guys, so we're back here. The boss killed me at turn 13. I didn't have the survivability to survive any more than that. You can see in the background he's down to 68% health, and you can also see here Lance and Morikis is still doing a ton of damage, and I'm top 30 in the world at the moment with my bleed team. And there are no pay to win heroes in my bleed team, it's only free to play. So in guild boss very good. In purgatory obviously you can use him there. You can use him in Elemental City. Faction Abyss also, he was already helping me clear the stage 30 here at exclusive 2, and he can still obviously do it on exclusive 3. He's just annihilating everything here. So I think it's time to test him out in PvP, right? Let's just test him out in PvP here. There are classic arena going on at the moment, so might have some teams that not, yeah. Let's see here. Let's go against this team here. So this is the team that I'm going to try and use it with against this team here. You can see they have a Erato, they have a Moringjing exclusive 3. They also got a Panda, Lydia, and a Beatrix exclusive 3, so it's a pretty strong team. Let's see what happens here. You can clearly see that the damage from the you can see here that the damage from the Lightning Spear and Electric Shock is doing a lot of damage on the Erato there in the middle. Also, it actually killed the Lydia there, so that's just a passive damage from his ability here. And you can see I proc my own Erato, and all of that actually came from Lance. You can see Lance is doing the same, actually more damage than my Erato exclusive 3, and she has pretty good gear as well with a Devour and everything, and a maxed aura and whatever. So you can see he's doing a lot of damage at exclusive 3 here. Let's try one more team. What could be a fun team to kill? Maybe some Kraken here, or maybe not going to win this one definitely, but I just want to see how much damage I can do against one of these Bushido guys here. Well, exclusive 5 on that one, and he also got a Lance, so if we are not if we don't get a positive result from my Lance, maybe we can see the opponent Lance here. Cyronics is one of the best PvPers in the game, and you can see his Lance there. He actually just obliterated my team, got it pretty low down, and it procced his Erato, so it's basically almost the same composition as I was running. He just got a exclusive 5 on a lot of stuff here, and a Deer Pit, and yeah, he's just got better gear, right, and maxed Sanctuary. But you can see the idea then is that the Lance is actually doing a lot of damage and proccing Erato pretty early on. But what about if we don't have an let's say you don't have Erato, can he still do stuff? Let's see if he can still do stuff. So I'm just going to put in this here. Let's see, maybe if we do, maybe we'll try something like this here, and then we just need an attack buffer. Gonna put a Lydia in just to start with the attack buff, and we'll see here. Gonna replace the pet also with the poison pet, just because it doesn't really matter, but whatever, right? And she's gonna start with this one, and we wanna have her start with this. He can start with this here, and whatever they do is okay. Let's see. I also need to change. I have set up so that I do more damage against shields with this implement set here. So let's see here, it's starting on auto. This is without the Erato on my team. Let's see if he can work in like in a bleed team against the opposition. Let's put it down to 2 speed here to see what happens. Obviously the Lydias are going. You can see here that Lance is nuking the opponent here, killed the Lydia with my Lance here, and everything is just dying. There are lightning effects everywhere coming from the sky, killing people, and it's magnificent to see. And here you can see Lance absolutely nuked that team. I don't even think there was a reason for Morikis to be in this team here. So you can clearly see that he works pretty good even if you don't have Erato. Now let's see against a team like this one here where they have an Atkins, what will happen here, because the Atkins might pursue and attack him because he's the one with the most attack, right? So he's going to be the one getting hit. But let's see here, if you just speed it up a bit, and let's see what happens here. Obviously the Lydia goes, and now it is time for, you can see here already, if you noticed, everyone is pretty low. I didn't even get my turn before now actually, but just the passive lightning spears managed to kill like 2 people, and yes, so that is great. And remember guys, Lance is not a limited hero. He's just someone you can pull randomly and you can put eyes on him. He is fantastic. Look at that team, he just killed them all. It's fantastic. Let's try against this guy here. It seems like a little bit of a better team. Let's just see if he can do anything there. Let's put it on, let's just put it on 4 here, and let's keep an eye on the enemy here to see what happens. You can clearly see Panda is getting low, Erato is getting low. She is probably going to proc in a minute, or she's only exclusive 2. But let's see here, Lance got his turn, he killed Erato, and everyone is dead here. You can clearly see He hits very hard. Let's see it again here. He is doing a lot of damage. He's very fun to use, I must admit. He is very fun to use. I'm absolutely obliterating. Let's see, this guy is in King tier, but it's only it's like a tanky team. There are no DPSs in this team other than the Sun Wukong maybe, and maybe his Henge if that is a damage build. But let's see what happens here against this tanky team. Can I kill this tanky team? So this is going to be a little bit tankier. Let's see here. So Henge procced her ally protection on Lydia there. Beatrix is trying to do some stuff on me. Let's see what happens here. My Lydia is pretty squishy, and let's see, I do have both Wuthering and Sun Wukong to protect my team. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer fight, but let's see what happens here once we are at the second round here with my cooldowns. Sun Wukong from the enemy is almost dead. He's very close to dying here. Let's just target him so that we know that we need to kill this guy. Yeah, he killed my Sun Wukong. This is going to be a bit harder, it seems, that we are dying here. Yes, so that was not a good show off for my team. You probably want to use someone else for this kind of team. Alright, so I'm back again. I just want to see if I can beat this guy with using my Beatrix instead of Morikis. I just want to test out Lance's like solo damage without Morikis. Let's see what he can do. Is he able to do any damage here? Probably not, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And Lydia is dead now this time. My Beatrix is not exclusive 3 though, so she is kind of not giving the full potential of the skill damage buff. She can give around 45% skill damage buff if she is exclusive 3 and has 250% effect hit. Mine doesn't have that, but maybe soon. And you can clearly see here that actually removing Morikis and just putting in a Beatrix that managed to place a AoE stun in the beginning of the fight was enough to actually kill that team that annihilated me before. Alright guys, so I think that is it for Lance exclusive 3. I think I've kind of made my point pretty clear that he is a strong hero. I bet you already knew that, but now you've seen it yourself by first hand, and I hope you get Lance. I hope you have exclusive eyes for him and that you managed to put some gear on him. He's fantastic both as a single solo carry, but also as a secondary damage dealer in a Ratu team or whatever. And he's working fantastic both in PvE and PvP. I hope you have a nice weekend. Cheers. Bye.